Ladies and gentlemen, welcome again. We've got 4 episodes in this unique podcast series, and it's all thank you to our sponsors, Gulfstream. Really, really appreciated Gulfstream. Excellent aircraft. Thank you so much.
The legendary G650 and G650ER continue to redefine travel with proven class-leading efficiency and high-speed performance. Fly farther, faster than on any other business aircraft. Saving more than 50 hours a year cruising at Mach 0.90. Access destinations that matter the most through excellent takeoff and landing performance, combined with exceptional range. Relax in the smoothest ride in business aviation, soaring above turbulence that other aircraft must pass through, and enjoy higher fuel efficiency and lower CO2 emissions than the competition, thanks to an advanced wing design and engine technology. For over 60 years, Gulfstream has set the standard for performance, safety, and support.
Ladies and gentlemen, friends and colleagues, here we are, second part of a 4-part series, all about One More Orbit. Now, for those of you who know me, you'll probably see that I'm trying to hold back a smile or a bit of a laugh. I've got to be honest, it's the first time ever I've done a podcast from this particular location, which I'll get to in a minute. Now, the guest is somebody who was one of the 8-person crew who broke the record, and I'm talking about Jannicke Mikkelsen. And Jannicke was responsible for live streaming and the satellite operation. And she's at the very, very top of her game. So Jannicke, lovely to have you on board. Thanks very much for wearing the T-shirt.
Thank you so much. And do I do like that?
Yes, yeah, very good. Yeah, that's it. You milk it up. That's the way to do it. That's fantastic. Now, the reason I was smiling at the beginning, this lady is so good at what she does, and you can see where she is now. She's done some magic because we are all recording this from her closet. Okay, it's an amazing experience for both me and Salem. We're a little bit closed in together, but it's working very well. So, Jannicke, first of all, well done for the world record. Must be incredible. How'd you feel?
Great. And I even got an extra one for being born female.
Really? So what?
Yeah. So me and Magdalena were actually the only living females to have circumnavigated the planet. I think the only ones, but he couldn't verify if Amelia Earhart had done it previously.
Oh my God. Well, congratulations. And you're on page 145 of the Guinness Book of Records.
Isn't that amazing? That's a childhood dream of mine. Like, I thought I was just going to be listed and it would, it wouldn't have our names. It would just have the name of the flight and the time. And then, it was a spread and I just couldn't believe it. I used to read those books as a child and I usually live in London. The joke is I pay rent in London, but I'm in Greenwich, and my local bookstore had celebrated it and made like a window display and opened up the book and had the Guinness Book of World Records when it came out and had it all displayed at Cutty Sark. And,
fantastic.
Quite an honor.
I bet it was. You need to lap that up, I'll tell you, because it's what an incredible thing. And to be one of the 8 is amazing. Now, I'm just going to ask you a few things to start off with. Now, the first thing I'm going to start with is the following statement. Is this mission so important to me that I'm happy to risk my life?
Yes.
And the answer, because I am such a tech nerd, yes, it is. Now, who said that?
Me.
So with such conviction.
And I thought the camera was off at that time. That's why I'm pulling this face. The mission had just finished, and I knew the mission was happening, but I didn't realize quite, how it was going to shape out. The green light for the film production itself happened really late.
Yeah.
And then I believe it came from top down, so possibly Qatar executive. They wanted the entire mission live streamed, and the production had agreed, okay, we're going to live stream the whole mission. And then I was like, hang on a minute, I'm the tech responsible person on this airplane. How's that going to happen? And they go, oh, well, all airplanes have internet. And I go, no. Airplanes don't just magically have internet. And we're going to fly at an exceptionally high altitude. Not only are we doing that, we're flying at almost the speed of sound. We're at Mach 0.92. And we're going to the North Pole and the South Pole. We're going to need every single satellite we can get our hands on to complete this mission. So I believe that must have been about 3 weeks before launch.
So nothing like a little bit of pressure.
So, I mean, the story kind of went like this. I did get help from Qatar executive, but I chatted to the guys over at Inmarsat who have the geosynchronous satellites, and they have 4 of them locked onto the planet. So they're at 40,000. Gosh, I got my meters and feet mixed up here, but kilometers, I think, from the Earth. And our initial conversation went like this. Yeah, that sounds really cool. And we could get some amazing data from that and show what our satellites can do. Oh, how many spots do you need? And I was like, well, we're going south to north and then north to south. So we're going to need all of them. And then they go, okay, so how many satellites do you need? And I was like, we're going around the world. We're all of them. How many do you have? And with the goodwill of Inmarsat and Satcom Direct, who really saw what I was trying to achieve. Now, I think I was too naive at the time. I didn't realize that what I was asking for had never been done before. I sort of assumed that live streaming via satellites happened, but I didn't realize that the quantity of upstream, the amount of images and data we were streaming up into the satellite and back down on Earth had never been done before. So
probably just as well you didn't realize what you were asking for.
Yeah, thank goodness. I'd be a bit scared if I did.
No, but it's amazing. And the film.
And, so and the problem is you don't just the satellites have to move. You have to move them to track them, to get them to track our aeroplane, and you don't just simply move a satellite. They have boosters, and it takes 2 weeks to maneuver the orbit of a satellite, and to have it, all the different spots lock onto us according to our flight path. So the coordinations were very important to lock down 2 weeks before and have them approved. But as you know, in the aviation industry, everything changes last minute.
Yeah.
So we managed to maneuver those satellites over 2 weeks. It was a fantastic team of engineers at Inmarsat and Satcom. So I could leave them alone. I didn't have to sort of micromanage that, thank goodness. So I could go on to Savannah, to Gulfstream's headquarters, and start kitting out the airplane, because we had to cable that entire airplane to handle all the cameras and all the wireless networks that were happening on the inside of that jet.
So coming to that, and the fact that you had to do so much, obviously weight was a huge issue. So you had to use miniature cameras, you had to put enough cabling in, and also to make it safe in the cabin for everybody during the 2 to 3 days.
Yeah, exactly. Safety is priority number one. We do have a joke, which is safety third, but honestly, safety has to be the number one priority. And so I went for the tiny, small action cameras. Unfortunately, the smaller they are, the more limiting they are. It makes the technology grow bigger. And I also opted for small convergent design units. In the techie language, it's a small, almost like an iPad that you can plug loads of cables and cameras into, and you can select the camera you want. So I didn't want anything to run on software in case something went wrong. I want everything to be hardwired and I could see the cables.
Yeah.
The reason why I wanted that was that I knew I would be sleep deprived. And I knew I would have to be awake for most of that 48-hour mission. We assumed it would be 48 hours. And when you go past 24 hours of sleep or into minus 30 hours of sleep, it's very difficult to have brain and arm coordination, and it gets difficult to really know how to plug your cameras. Thank goodness it's not a bomb.
Oh, dear Lord above. Yep, yep, yep. I'll remember that one. But you did very well. But there was one point in the film where I think you were very surprised at the quality and the speed with regards to the Wi-Fi.
Oh, it's so embarrassing. I was so happy. That is because I was so sleep deprived.
So
it's
anybody
so embarrassing.
Just not make you stay awake for as long as they can to start with, then.
Because the prior week we'd been in Savannah, and even there I was running on maybe 4 hours sleep a night whilst we were at the headquarters of Gulfstream, and we had this luxurious business jet. And I have some pictures of us setting up, and it just ended up looking like this shitty camper van on its way to Glastonbury. Yes, it looked horrible as we were kitting it out and really, figuring out how to hide the wires and such. So yeah, into the sleep deprivedness. I was struggling getting signals from the satellites. They're very sensitive. So if you're not a geek, all you need to know that if there's a cloud or rain or if the air is wet, your signal gets diluted. Yeah. And I couldn't get a strong enough signal to know that we could carry off this live stream. So that was my biggest worry. And at one point of the globe, just before we got to Mauritius, I'd never even seen a satellite being able to deliver what it was delivering. And I was like, how is this possible? I've never in my life seen these numbers. And it was at that point I realized I was doing a world's first.
Yeah.
Never mind the airplane.
But it was incredible, huh? And it was what, 3 or 4 megabit?
Yeah, it was 1,000 per second.
Oh my God.
So in comparison, I was struggling to get 150.
Now, for people who don't understand, okay, and haven't got that technical capability that you're smiling about, what does that mean to the normal person on the street?
So most of us are of an age that we remember TVs back when we had set standard, it wasn't digital, it was analog with the antennas. And I dare a Gen Z to watch a TV with an antenna trying to get the signal in. That's how it started off looking. And then it sort of got upgraded to 8K during their flight.
Right. So you don't quite remember the black and white version that came through?
I'm not that old. But we did have a TV that we had to hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the tubes.
But the interesting part, I think, for, since I'm a satellite nerd, was really just seeing, let's explain it. So the world is in the middle. This is a world. Imagine my head is a world, right? North Pole, South Pole.
Yeah.
And let's say the UK is here.
Yeah.
And the geosynchronous satellite sits out in space and it follows me all around, right?
Yeah.
But the airplane is going it starts off at Kennedy Space Center at NASA, and it flies almost the speed of sound going north.
Yeah.
And at some point, it goes out of range. It's a loss of signal. It's an LOS.
Correct.
So it comes to the North Pole, which is here.
Yeah.
And it flies out of signal. And we really managed to get the signal almost right to the middle of the North Pole. It was absolutely impressive. I've never seen technology like it. It could also be because we had a high altitude as well. And then when we were out of signal, out of range, there's a number of things that can go wrong, because a satellite provides you not only pictures, and that's fun for people to watch, but also navigation and security for the aircraft. And we're navigating in an area where our compasses don't work anymore. They're spinning.
Yep.
And luckily, like you watch a high tech in that business aircraft is incredible because it only spins for a very short time, thank goodness. But it is impressive to see like that circle of uncertainty be so narrow flying over the North Pole. But I do have to say that there was one thing that hit me when we were out of range and we couldn't contact anybody. Was I actually knew I got the news update a few hours before that there was a Norwegian and South African explorer on the ice at the North Pole, and they needed rescuing because they were cross-country skiing to the North Pole, and the problem was they were drifting further south on the ice than they could walk north.
Oh,
because
no, yeah.
Yeah, when I was looking at the North Pole, I, as a Norwegian, have always had a dream to cross-country ski to the North Pole. I know.
Yeah. It doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me.
I have my ski poles here.
Yeah.
I could get one out.
Just in case.
And looking down, it was like looking at my drinks glass. It was like looking at the gin and tonic glass with ice. It was no solid ice. It was all broken and floating, and you could physically see it drift south. And that was worrying to me that I knew there were 2 people needing rescuing. They were 4 months into their mission. They'd run out of food and rations, and they couldn't make it north. And here we're cruising over the North Pole in like the ultimate luxury, in a jet with jet fuel, looking down and knowing there's someone down there who needs rescuing from the harsh conditions of the North Pole because the North Pole is melting because it's being polluted.
Yeah, yeah. That's also something that came across in the film. You know, the understanding that if we do things collectively and in collaboration all together, everybody who inhabits the world for the right reasons at the right time, we've got an opportunity to make sure it doesn't go the way people are suggesting it may do if we don't pay attention to it. That was a very, very positive message. And the way it was presented in the film, I thought was excellent.
And Terry made the right choice, because it did hit us all as we were going over the North Pole.
Yeah.
I think it hit home. You hear about it in the news, and you can read about it, but it just doesn't hit home until you experience it. Even though we were flying over the North Pole, we all felt it. And in the movie, that's when we cut to the carbon underground and talk about how we work to make this mission carbon negative, not just carbon, neutral, but carbon negative.
I know. I thought it was very powerful, and it also seemed so obvious and so logical the way Terry brought it into the film and the way he showed how to do it. Personally, I was thinking to myself, "Oh my goodness me, why haven't I spent more time focusing on this or supporting it or telling people?" It was amazing.
Because all that carbon up there, it came from the earth.
Yep.
And what I love about Carbon Underground is that they work with the microbes and the plants that use carbon, that suck carbon out of the air and put it back into the ground and make it nutritious.
Yeah, exactly.
And I didn't know that. I actually did not know that until I flew that mission.
Yep. So you learn a lot of things. Now, as far as learning, and not that we've seen overly too much of yourself and Magdalena, but when we did, you always seemed to be very much in control, very calm, very organized, very structured. But I'm assuming that at certain points on the mission, there was a few challenging things. What was the most challenging for you to experience?
Okay, let's start with the techie side of things. Yeah. 1, the number of thunderstorms at Kennedy Space Center preventing me from entering the aircraft to do my technology setups. Problem number 1. Problem number 2, Anderson Cooper from CNN wanting to do a live stream from the North Pole. We just managed to do that. And that was the first ever live stream from the North Pole. So I was like, oh, okay, cool.
That's fantastic, isn't it?
It was pretty cool. And then technology gave us a good, easy time until we came to the South Pole. I had been so busy up until that point, preparing the cameras and preparing the satellites and in dialogue with everybody, so everybody knew what they were doing. There's another part to this as well, is we do have a team looking after our safety, using the satellites to figure out where we exit the poles. Yeah. So we did run into a bit of trouble at the South Pole, and I think that was when it hit home for me, was going, oh, do you know what? This could go wrong.
And is that what led you to say what you said afterwards?
Yeah, because I just hadn't thought about it. I hadn't thought about the risk. I am a consumer of airplanes. I love airplanes, and I think airplanes do need to run on jet fuel because they need to get you from point A to B when you're going long distance. That is not going to be an electrical thing, at least not yet. I also think our mission is the last kind of mission that can actually use fossil fuel to fly as far as we did. And I did not realize how big the South Pole is until we flew over it. So once you cross the center of the South Pole, actually before you even enter the South Pole, there is no divert. There is no airfield we can divert to. At one point, the aircraft got so cold, it was below minimums. Now, I didn't realize this. I'm not a G650 ER techie. I'm a satellite techie, as you probably gathered, and an image techie. I don't keep numbers of the minimum of the aircraft, but I was like looking at the temperature on the screen. They had those, you get the screen of the world and you can see your flight path, when you sit in your chair in the economy or whatever. So they have the same in a business airplane. And it says the temperature, and it said a minus 117 Fahrenheit. And I was like, oh, wow, look at that. That's cold. I've never seen that number before. And I think at that point, Ben jumped up and was like, oh.
Yeah, I like the way you said that was cool. That was unintended, I'm sure. But it was cool. It was very cold. Now, was that the most worrying time for you on the mission? Or was there anything that was more worrying for you on a personal note?
So at that time of the mission, again, we're all very focused on our tasks. We have specific tasks to follow. So the mission, and you don't really worry about yourself at that point. But there was a lot of talk about where can we divert to if we have to land on the South Pole. How much contingency is the fuel left? It's a lot of jargon that I don't understand as a payload specialist for cameras and satellites. But what I could understand was that because we had to descend into warmer temperatures, we might not have enough fuel to get us to Punta Arenas. Yeah. If we do get to Punta Arenas and we have to abort the landing because it's too cold and it's icy or something's not ready on the runway, we're not going to have enough fuel to try again. Or we don't have enough fuel to get to our other divert airstrips. And if we were to land at the Chilean Air Force Base, it's not manned. I think they tried to get contact with it, and there's no one there.
Yes,
so if you would land, I don't know what condition you would land in, but you definitely wouldn't take off.
Yeah, that's it. Once the aircraft down there, it wouldn't be going anywhere else.
And this is where Magdalena's job comes in. So everybody sees her as a glamorous flight attendant, and it's a little bit funny because it's such an expedition and she's wearing her high heels and makeup is perfect, but she's a medic on board. So she's the one that's trained to look after us. And I saw her pack everything in case we had to land on the South Pole. She had everything ready, all the jacket, all the warm wear in case we ended up at the South Pole, extra food, and all the medical equipment to look after us. So that's her job, is to look after everybody's health. And I don't think Terry told you this. I don't know if you've talked to Terry.
Not yet. That's tomorrow.
This is an ongoing joke. So Terry is addicted to Coca-Cola Light, so Diet Coke.
Oh, blimey, yeah.
He loves it. So he'd requested he had some Diet Coke on the airplane. But because we're flying at such high altitudes, Magdalena was worried about the bubbles, could actually present a health problem. So she would give him medicine shots of Diet Coke, and he wouldn't be allowed to get another one until he drank 2 glasses of water.
Excellent. What I'll do when I speak to him tomorrow, I'll make reference to Pepsi, because I've got a friend who worked for Pepsi, and he says Coca-Cola's not allowed for me to say because I'm a close friend. So I'll see what he says about Pepsi.
Oh, it was the funniest thing ever. So the ongoing joke is Diet Coke and lamb chops.
And lamb chops, where the lamb chops come in?
Ask him about it.
Yeah? All right, we'll do that. We'll do that.
Pretty funny. You should have some lamb chops ready and offer him there on the screen.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a lamb chop myself as it goes. A little bit of mint sauce, that'll go down well. Now, as far as yourself and Magdalena being on the plane with the other 6, how was the conversation? Was there any stress going on between everybody? You know, did you all get on so well? Because it looked like the perfect team.
Oh my goodness, it's not good for reality TV, or it's not even good for the documentary. There were quirky personalities, but there wasn't, I can't swear on this, can I? There wasn't that one person who you dislike, who makes a point out of being disliked. There wasn't that person in the crew. It was very strange. We hadn't even met each other. Can you hear my donkey scream?
Your what, sorry?
My donkey.
It's a very big closet to everybody that's listening.
I have a pet donkey. He just hee-hawed.
Believe you, the more I'm talking to you, the less I would be surprised if you told me anything.
So where was I? I've lost.
We were talking about the team spirit, the dynamics.
Yes. So we didn't actually meet each other. I didn't even meet the team at Savannah. I only met Ben, the engineer, the flight engineer, but I didn't actually meet the pilots until we came to Kennedy Space Center. So the night before our mission was when I met the crew, the pilots and Magdalena, the cabin crew. And it was bizarre. We were all the same personality. We bonded instantly. And during that mission, we all did our job. I had a little joke, you know, the Captain Morgan commercial. Hi, Captain, 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 because everybody was a captain. I was the only one who wasn't a captain. So we just all had the same sense of humor. We all had that sort of, you know, when something went wrong, we just deal with it. It was never any drama. There was never any personal conflicts, which just, for me, you know, it's not a good thing for the camera. The camera wants to see conflict between people. But we were all of the same mindset, and leaving that mission, we're family. We're the best of friends for life now.
Yeah.
You cannot break our bond, the 8 of us.
I got that impression, and Captain Hamish, I was asking him about reunions and, you know, the fact that you've got to do that. You must do it and do it and do it and do it, because it'll be something so special. Every time you get together, it's a fantastic coming together, a meeting, a picture, memories, chatting. You'll never get fed up of it.
Well, this mission changed my life. It changed my outlook on what I do. I launched an award, Tech for Good, and we had $100,000 as an award. Every piece of technology I do from now on has to be for the good of our planet. After seeing the North Pole and after seeing the South Pole, it just left such a lasting impression on me that for us who understand technology, we're in charge of the future development of technology, and we cannot ruin our planet developing technology. Seriously, I can imagine, because I've been in aviation for over 40 years, and you know, I listen to people going through fads and people talking about climate and everything, and it just goes over you. Sometimes you pay attention, but for some reason, this film, you know, lots of things resonated. The youngsters that were on the live streams, you know, aren't they adorable?
But how passionate they were, and the questions they asked, and you could see their eyes opening up. They'll never forget that moment either. And then to see such a simple story with regards to, you know, carbon underground and carbon negative, and how things can come back in and nurture the earth and the soil, and you just think, and it just makes sense. But it's something that I've never thought about before. So that was amazing. And at this point, I suppose we should really give a good plug for the film. And you can look at it. You can find it on www.onemooreorbit. Okay, it's coming out on a special extended DVD at Christmas. And Vision Films are promoting it. They've done a great job. And I personally will be buying the DVD for a few friends and colleagues, and especially my young nephew, Liam, who loves aircraft. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. So as far as I'm concerned, it's a great show. You've done a great thing. But I've got to ask you now, what excites you now? What's your next challenge? Because you think that sort of energy.
You're gonna think I'm crazy. This is why I'm in Norway. I'm at the first Norwegian space launcher.
Right.
I've started my own business, and I'm aiming it to reach a moon for lunar mining, to mine helium-3, which doesn't exist on Earth, only on the moon. And it's the answers to creating clean energy on Earth for fusion technology. So we're working with graphene products that are developed in Norway and mined in Norway to create clean technology to go to the moon, to mine sustainably and bring back really valuable lunar resources that can better the future of humanity.
And you know something? I think if anyone's going to do that, it will be you. And I'm sure that poor donkey outside is thinking, what is she going to make me do next?
His name's Robbie. He's 25. Everybody knows who he is. He's all over my Instagram.
Is he? And what's the significance of keeping a donkey?
Oh, do you really want to get into this? It's another story. I had a horse, and I had a horse riding accident. Long story short, I fell. I lost the use of my body for 5 years, had to learn to walk again, was quadriplegic, paraplegic, and recovered when I was 15. So my parents gave me a donkey because it's shorter.
So you were paralyzed for 5 years?
Mm-hmm. Well, it started with the neck, and then went to the waist, and then it took me, I was in and out of a wheelchair. So that was about a year, and then about 5 years until I was 15 to learn to walk. Yeah.
My God, girl. That's amazing. No wonder you're so. I'm thinking to myself, like, my God, does she ever keep still? You must keep doing that all the time. What a terrible thing. And how fantastic.
I've got legs. I was given a second chance, and I'm going to make it count.
That is incredible. And excuse me for asking such a personal thing, but did the medical profession think that you would recover, or was that?
All the odds were against me. I was told I would never walk again. I was repeatedly told I would never walk again. I was told I was going to go blind. I don't trust doctors after that. I think I just believed in myself, and my parents were a huge help, and we left the hospital and that care system and focused on getting me better, really. And that's where the donkey comes in as a therapeutic animal, and he's 25 and he's still here.
Yeah, that's incredible, Jannicke. Well, my God, well done you. That's amazing. So, well, if anybody deserves to be one of the first ladies to go around the world, it's you. And to break a world record, it's you. And God knows what you're going to do next. Maybe it'll be the first donkey to go around the world. Who knows? But seriously, what crazy challenge are you going to set yourself next?
I've always wanted to do cross-country ski to the North Pole. Just flying over it, seeing that happen, I think it's too late. I don't think that will ever be a possibility because of our climate. Whether our climate change is man-made or not, or if it's a natural cycle, I honestly don't care. I just think we need to act now and try to figure out ways of slowing down the climate change. That is probably my biggest mission now. I'll probably climb Kilimanjaro, or maybe figure out if I can get up to the top of Everest, but it's not going to be as big of a challenge as figuring out how we can actively create clean energy on Earth.
That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Fair play to you. Now, as far as Terry and his directing, being the next astronaut, he was like an artist the way he put that film together.
He's pretty good, isn't he?
He's very good.
He has a female side to him. I've noticed that. Yeah.
Right, I shall put that down along with the Pepsi and the cola. Terry, as an astronaut, you've got a female side to you. I'm sure he'll appreciate that one.
Oh, I've stolen his phone to listen to his Spotify list, and it's like a 16-year-old girl, I'm telling you.
Really? So a butterfly list. Right, we'll see how he comes out of this. Okay.
I'm very proud of him. Imagine coming from a job where your job is to defend your country in a fighter jet, shooting down people from other countries, to being a test pilot, to being an astronaut. Compartmentalizing is a huge part of his job.
Yeah.
Compartmentalizing his feelings is probably part of my job as well. But then going into the film business where your feelings have to be up in the front. You can't tell a story as a director without putting your emotions into the movie, and that's how you express yourself. Like a singer sings and an actor acts and a dancer dances. A director puts their feelings on the screen.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of him. He did a really good job. I can't believe he's an astronaut.
No, he did a fantastic job. And again, coming back for anybody listening, this record was broken on the 9th of July last year, and the film has been out for about a week now, I think, and it is so well worth a watch. And if anybody needs to know again, it's www.onemooreorbit. I've always wanted to come across as somebody who just keeps pumping out adverts. I've done it now twice. I'm sure.
Fantastic. You forgot the .com at the end, though.
Sorry, .com. onemooreorbit.com.
I'll give it one more.
Yeah, www.onemooreorbit.com. How's that? Is that good? Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. Take two, reset.
Vision Films, DVD at Christmas, absolutely superb. Now, what did your mum and dad? What was the first thing your mum and dad said to you?
I didn't tell them.
At the time that you said you were going to do it, and then when they knew you had done it, what did they say to you?
I didn't tell them until I was leaving. I told them I was going flying. They're used to me going flying places. I didn't necessarily communicate all the details about the mission.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure if they've forgiven me for that part. It did hit me right before we left. Gosh, I just felt the tears coming. I wrote a goodbye letter.
This is a bit of film. This is it. We're in the closet and she's crying. Go on. Mum and Dad love it.
I wrote a goodbye letter.
Oh, you're joking.
Just in case. I wasn't sure.
Oh my goodness me. Oh my. Oh dear. Did you ever let them read it?
No. Oh. But yeah, they're good. And it was actually my mom's 60th birthday as we flew. And on the live stream, I wrote a note. I don't think it made a film, but I wrote "Happy 60th, Mom" and put it up to the cameras.
Oh, how lovely! And what did they say when you broke the record?
I think they were happy, but if I'm perfectly honest, I don't remember anything from after landing. I calculated it, and I'd been awake for 63 hours. I probably slept 20 minutes here and there, but not more than 20 minutes. So 63 hours. I was so delirious. I remember thinking, "Is this what it's like to be a celebrity?" Everybody at Cape Canaveral, everybody at Cocoa Beach, at the Space Coast, everybody knew who I was. The Uber driver knew who I was. A hotel receptionist knew who I was. A cleaning lady knew who I was. It was very strange, and like to have your room upgraded and you're celebrated. It was very bizarre. A lot of attention. Of course, my parents were proud. I wish they could have been there to see us land, but with them being in Norway, it just wasn't possible.
But I bet you they've got a room now with Guinness Book of Records all over the place and the certificate hanging up proudly.
You know who's the proudest? I think it's probably my gran. She's 95. She's in Scotland. And she took pictures on her iPhone of the screen. She's very technological. She can AirPlay and stuff.
Doesn't surprise me. If
she can't see the screen on her phone, she AirPlays it to her TV so she can see the screen of her phone. So she was taking pictures of the TV during a live stream and then printed them all out. So she's got like them everywhere.
Oh, that's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. Now, what would be a message that you would give? So obviously we've seen the youngsters, as you did the live stream at the schools, the 2 sessions on the film. what would a message be from you to any youngster out there who was thinking of doing something exceptional like you've done? What would you say to them? No matter how many challenges or how many knockbacks, and believe you me, I can't imagine anybody to have overcome the setbacks that you've done. So what would you say to them to inspire them and keep them going?
I would say above all, believe in yourself. Don't depend on other people to believe in you. Believe in yourself and know that you can deliver what you say you can do.
Yeah.
I would also say that life has a strange plan for you, and your hopes and dreams, you may not reach them, but you're going to get somewhere even more incredible. As long as you believe in yourself and put in the work and go above and beyond, really study what you want to do in life and know everything about it and strive to be the world champion in your subject.
Yeah, fair enough.
If you want to be the best, you've got to demand the best of yourself.
Yeah, that's very
then
good.
You can be in a position to demand the best of others, but you need to be demanding the best of yourself first.
Yeah. No, that's incredible. And seriously now, forget COVID and political correctness and whatever. When I watched you on the film and when we started the interview, I'm thinking to myself, my God, what a bundle of energy. It must be so hard to keep up with you. But then when you told the story about the paralysis and the wheelchair, I can fully understand it. I think you're an absolute inspiration. You seem a lovely, lovely young lady. I bet your parents are so, so, so proud. One day, whenever somebody opens that letter, it will be an exceptional letter that will probably deserve to be framed as well. I hope Robbie lives for another 25 years and he does something crazy, and I'm sure you're going to force him to do so. But really, really, above all else, apart from watching the film, apart from doing the interview, it's been an absolute privilege to have met you, okay? And I'm so sorry. Like I said, I would have loved to have put my arm around you when those tears were flowing, but it really, really was very special speaking with you. Magdalena, you're an absolute star. And for everybody watching, we're coming live.
I'm Jannicke.
Sorry, I do apologise. That was meant just to see if you were paying attention. I'm glad you were. But Jannicke, and for everybody listening, we're coming from Jannicke's closet live, and that was exceptional what you did. And we know what's behind the black screen.
Thank you so much, and
thank you.
Send all my love to everyone.
Yeah, no, thank you so much, and you deserve the fame that you've got for what you've done.
Thank you so much. Pleasure speaking to you.
Take care. All the best. And sorry, Magdalena, but you were obviously on my subconscious mind there. It was probably the high heel shoes and the all of the safety gear for when you landed.
It didn't make it into the movie. She was so tired. She put on one high heel shoe and one low heel shoe and couldn't figure out why she was hobbling.
Yeah. No, but it was a great film. We should just probably before we finish, how impressed were you with that aircraft?
Oh my goodness. I've been lucky enough to fly in a few business jets already.
Yeah.
But oh my goodness, the G650. There's nothing like it. It is incredible. Every seat becomes a bed, which I was really thankful for. It's just comfortable, high technology. You can change the lights, which I appreciated. The windows are amazing. The speed of the aircraft, the turnaround time when we're on the ground. I mean, it's a super machine. It's unlike any aircraft I've ever heard of.
Yeah, no, it was. It is. It's exceptional,
and it looks beautiful.
Yeah, and the support you got from the control center in Doha, and the chief himself, having worked for him, fair play to him for putting his stamp and his support on this particular record. So he deserves a good shout out as well.
Absolutely amazing. Could not have done it without Qatar Executive. Could not have done it without Inmarsat. Could not have done it without Satcom Direct or LiveView or Convergent Design, or the list goes on. I must have had over 100 people in my team just to manage that live stream and to film the project.
And also Robbie, and I'm sure he was pleased to see you when you returned.
You'll see him in my Instagram. He loves to take selfies. We take selfies all the time.
Yeah, I'm sure. Jannicke, listen, again, you're a lovely young lady. Thank you so much. Brilliant what you've done, and good luck with everything else.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Catch
you.
you later.
Cheers.